Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Two Guys with Four Eyes. My name is Robert Hollister, and with me is my co-host Ben Palmer.
Hey, what's up?
Now, this week we're going to throw back to 1997 and talk about the classic film Spawn.
Spawn the film,
Not
not the comic or the cartoon series.
Nope.
Unfortunately, the film.
Unfortunately, the film. So kick back, relax, and hopefully enjoy. So Ben, in news this week, news. It was revealed that there will be a new Tick show. Well, now I guess not really revealed to be a new Tick show. We've known
Yeah.
for a while, but
Amazon's doing it, right?
yeah, Amazon Studios is putting out a new Tick show, and they have released photos from the upcoming show.
His costume.
I don't know.
How you feeling about it?
I'm not feeling too hot about it.
He's blue. He's big. He looks like the Tick.
Yeah, sure, but too much texture with it. You know, they're doing the
Too
whole.
much texture.
I see what you did there. I like it. No, there's too much. It's too much like the other superhero costumes of today, where they put the
He's got the muscle, like the abs.
right, like the armor plating and such.
Yeah.
Which I feel like takes away from the character. He should have like a sleek, silly look to him, like he did in the previous live action show with
Yeah.
with Putty.
What else we have?
What else do we have? Well, it was announced also that they're gonna be doing a reboot of the Rocketeer movie, which
That's
I
actually exciting.
I loved the original Rocketeer.
Oh yeah.
However, the idea for this new reboot is that it is going to be, well, the title's The Rocketeers.
There's not more than one.
No, I know that, and it's not even gonna have the original characters. It looks like he's not even gonna be part of it. In the article, it says that it's gonna be taking place in the same time period, but with a fresh view of characters set 6 years after the original. However, the first character, Secord, has vanished, and now they're gonna be bringing in new characters for the mantle of the Rocketeer.
So this is a sequel to the original?
It's a sequel reboot.
But it's
Fresh
6 years
look.
after the first one. So everyone
Right.
in the show are is it a movie, a show?
It'll be a movie.
So
Yeah.
everyone's gonna already know who the old Rocketeer was.
Right, and
Okay.
this one looks like it's gonna be taking place during the Cold War.
6 years later.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a history buff or anything, but I don't believe that the Cold War was.
That's a long and cold war, my friend.
It must have been. Now, images also are up of the new Superman from the Supergirl show, which I haven't even seen the Supergirl show. I'm not interested to see it. I don't like Supergirl. I really don't like Superman for that matter.
Yeah,
I think I even talked last week about how I'm not really.
you're a chauvinist
It's not that. I like the ladies. Don't get me wrong.
in the kitchen.
Well, it's just where they belong. But I mentioned last week how I'm not really much of a DC guy anyhow.
Right.
So. But I will say, though, he looks good.
Yeah, I mean he's a Boy Scout. That's what he's supposed to look like.
Yeah, I mean, standing next to Supergirl and this main image right here, he looks a little on the short side.
He's a little scrawny.
He looks a little stout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got a good looking suit. I mean, it's essentially a more colorful suit from Man of Steel, which,
Yeah.
I do like that outfit. It does have a belt, which that's different, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean,
He's got to hold up that underwear, I guess.
I don't even think if I had to guess, I would say that he's probably not even going to be like a main cast member for long. He's
No,
probably going to
yeah.
show up here and there, just to kind of boost the ratings, especially since it's moved now from what was it before, ABC?
Yeah, one of the main networks.
Yeah, and now it's moved
So-
to CW, which I mean that makes perfect sense,
Yeah.
seeing as how they have all the other DC TV shows.
Right.
Why not keep it all in the family type thing? So, I mean that should be exciting if you're into that sort of thing.
If you're into women and DC,
Yeah, right. I mean,
no thanks.
yeah, right. Keep it. No, yeah, no, thank you. Now, what I am excited about is cats.
Are you?
I am specifically giant tigers named Shiva. You're probably wondering where are you going with this, Robert? And I'll tell you where I'm going with this. Last week, the Walking Dead season 7 trailer premiered. One of the big things for that was the reveal of King Ezekiel with his,
Whoa.
yeah, right, with his tiger Shiva. And now I didn't think they were gonna do this on the show. You don't really read the comic. Well, you
I
do.
did. I'm not super caught up, and I definitely don't watch the show. So
Yeah, no, I know you don't. You should. It's pretty okay.
it's pretty okay.
I mean, it's more, it's
That's
more,
convincing.
it's more good than bad. Let's put it that way. Not like it used to be, where it's more bad than good. But definitely excited about this tiger.
Is it a CG tiger? I imagine
I hope not.
they put him in a glass box and just keep him around cast members.
I hope it's just like I hope it's not CG, but what they do is just green screen the tiger in.
Oh
So
my
they just
God.
film the tiger in a separate location by itself,
Yeah,
and then just,
having him do random tricks and going for meat.
or what if they have some guy with the mocap suit
Yeah,
acting as a tiger?
let's mocap him
Get
for
some,
sure.
just get Andy Serkis. What else for news this week? Anything?
Any other news?
You watched the Doctor Strange trailer just a few minutes ago.
I did.
Now that's a little.
Very very cool. Inception-y, Matrix-y, and I loved both those movies. So let's do it again.
Right. It looks really exciting, which is, exciting because Marvel's first foray
For
foray
Ray.
foray into the world of the Mystic,
Yeah.
and so hoping that they can stick the landing, much like they did with Guardians 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2014.
Yeah, and open up the Marvel universe to a bigger, make it a bigger world.
Yeah.
Which is always great. Oh, and one thing I want to mention is last week we talked about how on Agents of Shield coming up that they're going to be introducing Ghost Rider
Right.
this upcoming season. Mentioned, we had no idea anything about this car or the new character or any, Ghost Rider rides a bike, right?
Yeah.
A car,
Has a
So-
car too.
right? So I went ahead and I started reading that series, the all new Ghost Rider,
Okay.
and when he gets the car, and where then he gets a new character, and I don't know.
Hard read.
It's a hard read. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. It's a hard read, and the artwork is the design of the Ghost Rider is not. It's not the classic look. He's more of a machine looking, kind of like a sort of anime looking. But he does have the car, and the car looks cool. So
Yeah.
But it looks like they're gonna kind of mix the old look of Ghost Rider with the new character for the TV show. So that might be something worth checking out. Maybe it'll get me watching Agents of Shield finally.
Yeah. I won't. So just let me know
Yeah.
because that show is so hard to watch.
I mean,
The cheese is unreal.
it sure is.
Speaking of cheese,
What about cheese, Ben?
let's get on with it.
Yeah, okay.
Let's talk about this 1997 Spawn movie.
The year was July 1997.
The year was July.
Yeah.
Actually, it was August 1st, 1997.
I thought it
I,
came out.
I put that in my notes, so it's got to be right.
Huh. Well, that's fitting, as today is August 1st,
Boom.
1997.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
So anyway, before I jump into it, we had a couple other options of movies we could have talked about.
Yeah. Other movies that came out around the same time were Revenge of the Nerds.
Nice. Not the same year, by the way.
No, it was 84
Yeah,
or
but
80,
same week.
87 or something like that.
So we had
Whatever.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Revenge of the Nerds, The Original Vacation,
Nice.
The Mask,
And we had Lost Boys.
Lost Boys, yeah, which would also be good.
Can't go wrong, man.
Eating worms. So good. But we chose to do Spawn, which I realized watching it that I have not seen that movie probably since I watched it on VHS years ago.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I think it's been close to a decade since I saw it, for
Yeah.
sure. But I do remember it pretty well.
Yeah. Now you didn't watch it. You just
Right.
kind of read up on it, whereas I did watch it. You want to tell me about Spawn?
My ancient memory, you wanna? Sure.
Yeah.
So here's my very very rough short version. You got Al Simmons, government agent of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
I think CIA maybe. He's got a boss, which is Martin Sheen. He has a name,
Jason Wynn.
Jason Wynn.
Mm-hmm.
He's married to Wanda. He's not married to
No,
Wanda.
they're not married.
Aren't they married in the comic?
Well, he's dead, like right away. So
But I thought,
Can't-
okay, she was already his wife.
I'm not really sure, to be honest. I mean, they're just engaged.
There's
in the
Wanda. Cheyenne?
movie. Yeah, Cyan.
Cheyenne? Is that his daughter?
No.
That's Terry's daughter.
Yes.
Okay. He's got his chick, and he's going to do this mission, top secret mission in some bioplant or something. Little does he know, his boss, Jason Wynn,
Mm-hmm.
sent an assassin, and this chick comes, murks his ass,
Right.
and blows the whole place up. But they make it look like it's his fault, somewhat. That doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
So he goes to hell, and Devil's got some cool name, Morgliadu or something like that.
Malboja.
There it is. That sounds like a weed strain.
What's that? I wouldn't be surprised if it is.
Just hit that Malboja, dude. Okay, so he makes a deal, says he'll lead the army,
Right.
and then he'll let him go back and be with his family, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
The classic deal with the devil.
classic deal with the devil. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do my bidding, then you can have what you want.
So he agrees, goes back, and turns out it's 5 years later, something like that.
Yeah.
And she's married to Terry,
Mhm.
who's a white guy.
Yeah.
By the way, interesting fact. In the comic, Terry's black, and the reason they cast a white guy is because when they were releasing the movie, they didn't want it to seem like it was aimed at a black crowd. I read that on the internet. It has to be true.
Okay, that's true.
So-
and also, it's D.B. Sweeney.
Finds that out, and he's also he's a crisp. He's in the microwave a little too long.
Right.
Bad news, like the hot pocket that explodes out the side.
That's actually what Clown says about him is that he was left in the oven for too long,
Ah,
extra crispy.
extra crispy.
Yeah, that's what he says when he first sees him.
Dude, and by the way, man,
Yeah.
Clown, how does he hold up? Because my memory, he was awesome.
He
was really awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he.
Which
you
was
know.
the pest.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
You know what? He actually holds up pretty well. I think he's a little ridiculous.
But he's supposed to be, right?
Yeah. He ruins like some of the scenes. I think with his just ridiculous jokes and just goofiness in general,
Right.
which I'll talk about when it's
When it's
me.
time.
Unless I mean I could just.
You can just swoop in here
You can
because
swoop in here?
my
Yeah.
my
Where you at?
version's not very good.
Nah, you got it. You got it. The thing though is let's see, and then yeah, he comes back from hell, and yeah, like you said, it's been 5 years, and he came back because he agreed to lead Malbosia's army of Hellspawn to.
He was on that Malbosia for 5 years, man. Smoked his life away.
I don't think but it was a flashback because he reappeared back on Earth, and then Clown like showed him.
Violator.
Yeah, well,
Ah.
he's only Clown now. I don't even know if he calls himself Clown. He shows him He shows him like what had happened to him, and he shows him like the flashback back in hell or whatever. And
Right.
it just seems like he landed in there, and then Malbosia just said hey, and he just agreed. So maybe like there's like 5 minutes in hell is 5 years on Earth.
Yeah.
You know?
Constantine was the same way, right?
No.
Oh wait, no, that was real time.
Yeah,
What am I thinking?
Interstellar.
Ah, yeah. Hell, space, it's all the
you
same.
know, well, Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Same thing.
It's a good movie.
I haven't seen it in forever. Gave me nightmares. But let's see. Where were you at? You were saying that he
Yeah,
would come
so,
back.
so he comes back and he's all burnt, and then
Yeah.
he ends up in the alley.
One of the things that got me is when he comes back. I guess right off the bat he doesn't realize that he was dead. Because I'm thinking, like I said, I don't think any time has really passed for him.
Right.
That it was just a short amount of time. So when he sees himself for the first time as Spawn, he's all burnt and whatnot. He's pissed. It's like he's angry about the way he looks.
Yeah, he sees a reflection like a
Uh-huh.
puddle or
In a
something.
puddle, yeah.
right?
And he's like just angry. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this dude just died. And now he's back to life. And he's pissed because he's ugly. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, you should be happy. One of the things I wanted to mention is
You should be happy.
you should be happy. One of the things I wanted to mention is when he's killed, it's what happens is Malbosia tells Clown, like through Clown tells Jason Wynn that he wants Al Simmons as part of his army. But since Wynn is happy with Simmons where he is, he's reluctant to let him go, and he says, basically like, fuck off, like,
So he's already got
I'm keeping Al.
he's already got Win in the pocket at this point.
Oh yeah, he's working with
Okay.
Wynn because the whole. If you want to, real quick summary of the movie is that Wynn has a deadly virus that he's willing to unleash on Earth, and then when he does that, he's going to have the only antidote. And so those who are willing to work with him will get the antidote, and those who aren't willing to work with him will die, and I believe go to hell and become part of the army of the undead.
Which wouldn't they then just kill Win and all of his buddies?
Well, that's what they want to do. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is Malbosia wants Al Simmons to lead his army of Hellspawn. Wynn says no, but then when Al learns that he had killed innocent lives in his duties with Wynn.
Right.
By the way, their squad's A6. I don't know if it's CIA or whatever it is, but it's
Right.
A6. It doesn't really go into what it is. When he learns that he had killed innocent people because of Wynn, he goes to him and says, I'm done. I want to get out of here. Like, forget this.
So it's the classic last job.
Exactly, yeah. and so Wynn brings him on his last job, which is at the biochemical plant, like you mentioned, and yeah, it's him and the character Jessica Priest, who she's part of A6 as well, and then they end up like icing
Right.
Al, and
icing him.
icing, yeah. And it's like the way he goes about it, like he lights on fire and he's like, oh, don't worry about Wanda, we'll take care of her. And he's like, see you in hell, blah blah blah. This dude, Al, he just, all he wanted to do was just leave your squad. Like, no bad blood.
Hey, man.
Why are you such a dick to him? And then,
Well, this guy's willing to kill everyone who doesn't want to work for him.
but here's the thing: the whole rest of the movie could have been avoided if Wynn had just really just made it seem like an accident. Like he was just there and then something happened. Like he could have just had a bomb set to blow up Al and the factory, because that's what essentially happened, releasing the virus,
Right.
which was able to give them the antidote to use later on for their plan. So now Al knows that Jason killed him, and so now he's vowed vengeance against him.
Of course.
I mean, you why do you do that to yourself? Don't do that to yourself. Like, knowing full well, like it's not like he didn't know he was going to become leader of the army of Hellspawns, you
Yeah.
know? He knew that. So why even put yourself in that situation?
I'll tell you why. He's a 90s villain.
Exactly.
That's why.
He's a 90s comic book movie villain.
Real quick, I wanted to mention that Jessica Priest was written for the movie
Mm-hmm.
because one of the things I read up on in the comic book, Chapel ends up killing him. There's this whole story with him, and I don't understand why they didn't just use him for the movie.
I mean, you mentioned that they used a white guy as Terry instead of a black guy. Maybe they used a white woman instead of another black guy, because
That's true. He
they
wasn't-
wanted
yeah.
to further the audience appeal,
Yeah. So then in the alley he meets what's the other Hellspawn guy's name?
Cogliostro.
Cagliostro. Yeah.
Yeah, the old man. Which, by the way, Cogliostro, the actor, Nicole Williamson, and he actually is this was his last film. He died a couple years after that, but this was the last film that he had done, and he was he did Excalibur and
Ah.
all those classic films from back in the day.
Right.
And so me watching this and watching him in what I can only imagine are these terribly terrible green screen rooms that
Yeah.
are then afterwards rendered so terribly. The way hell looked was just ridiculous. I mean, I have notes here, and I think what I call it is it looks like the fire gifs on a GeoCities site. if you had a GeoCity, hell is like that, and then it's
That's hell in itself.
Yeah,
You're
it's-
gonna look at that forever.
it's terrible.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's awful.
the little spinning skulls.
Yeah.
And
And so that's so Cogliostro is the gentleman that finds him in the alley. And he's a pretty cool guy.
yeah.
He's a pretty cool guy. I like his character a lot. And he he takes Al under his wing. He trains him how to use his powers. Now but before we get to that, I want to mention that in the scene where what happens is now Al, when he comes back, he goes to of course he goes to Wanda's house, and that's where he finds that Terry had married Wanda and that they
Right.
have Cyan together. And he's just
Still
still
pissed.
up in arms about this. Now, there's a clown who's performing at the birthday party as a clown.
Right.
Their dog Spaz comes over, talks, the girl finds him, then Wanda and Terry freak out. Get out of here. Clown comes over. Hey, Al doesn't believe he's dead, and so they go to the cemetery where they dig up his body, which is, he's digging up his own body.
Yeah.
And this is the first time we see the Spawn costume. Now, I know you haven't seen it in a while, right?
I remember it looking awesome.
It still is so awesome.
Is it?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's great. Dan Lester did the costume design for this movie.
Right.
So yeah, the costume was, and he did other films. You looked it up just now.
Yeah.
He did the new Fantastic Four, which, I mean, although not a great movie, I mean, the costumes were pretty solid. He did The Core, Independence Day.
Oh shit.
Uh-huh.
He did the Rocketeer also.
Yes, he did the Rocketeer, which was funny because we were just talking about that. So yeah, the costumes look great.
Yeah.
The costumes look great. The only problem I have with the scene, though, is, like I said, Clown, he's there, and he just ruins the whole thing, He with his goofy jokes and his antics and blah, blah, blah. I think he even, farts green smoke at some point, during the scene.
Oh,
and,
man.
yeah, and it's supposed to be, the big reveal of
Spawn,
Spawn,
yeah.
And then here's Clown just ruining everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then for this is when we have Spawn meeting. He goes to confront Jason Wynn
As Spawn.
as Spawn, yeah.
Is this when he finds a bunch of guns?
Yeah, he uses
Yeah.
a bunch of guns. He doesn't use his costume whatsoever.
Right.
even though his costume keeps doing things for him, there's a scene where Jessica Priest goes to, kick him in the balls, and his belt comes out and bites her leg and like stops it.
That's so 90s.
Yeah, and oh, cool, and then he gets thrown out of, I think he gets thrown out of a window, or he jumps out of a window or something at the end of the confrontation, and all of his belts or all of his chains come out and catch him, and he has weird frog hands, and he climbs up the side of the building, and all he can say is like, "Oh, kick ass" or whatever.
Is that an actual quote?
He says like,
I can just see kick ass.
Yeah, he's like
very Al Simmons.
I think he's just like hell yeah or whatever, like.
Because why not?
Yeah, like
that's a hell yeah moment.
Yeah.
I had read that the reason they didn't use this costume very much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, it's a $40 million film, and they struggled to get 40 mil. It was originally supposed to be $20 million budget.
Like, what would that translate to in today's? You think? I mean, nowadays comic book movies are 200.
Yeah.
It
was a low budget movie from the get go.
Yeah.
And
I didn't realize that.
And so they had a lot of scenes written where his costume was supposed to do a lot of cool stuff, but they just didn't have the budget, so they gave him a lot of guns instead.
Oh, okay.
Which, I mean, he uses guns.
Yeah, he does.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Because also, does the movie touch on the fact that the more he uses his power, like the necroplasm, it like kills him?
I don't remember it saying anything like that, but I think maybe.
Because that's definitely like part of it. It's like that give and take. The more he uses it, the more it hurts him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I had forgotten about that. I think maybe they mention it. I think that's what Cagliostro. He doesn't really use it. He has the powers, but he hasn't used any of it.
Yeah.
So I think there's like one scene where he shows Spawn that he has the power to like turn his hand to like a sword and.
Yeah, and he like has like a whip and shit, right?
He chains him up. He runs around him and he chains him up.
Ah, see.
To show him like there's like a scene where he starts like showing him like the ropes of like how to like use his costume or whatever, how to use a suit
instead of using guns.
Right.
Yeah. Oh god.
Which that's a great scene. It's like I wish it was more of a montage, but it's not.
It's just very long and drawn out.
Yeah. You know who else looks really cool? When
Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen looks really awesome. Super young. Violator.
Yeah?
Yeah. Malebolgia looks like shit.
Right.
All the scenes of Malebolgia looks ridiculous in hell, sounds stupid, looks stupid. I think it talks. He must talk with his mind. I don't know. Did he in the comic books?
I don't
know.
Does his mouth not move when he's
No,
talking?
not really.
Okay.
It's just ridiculous. It's not practical. But Violator though, it's a lot of like it's a mix between like practical and like special effects, and
right.
it comes off really great. Like it looks like, I mean for the time at least, and it actually looks like the characters, like being there, like on set, being filmed and interacting like with the other characters,
right.
Unlike Malebolgia, who's just,
some giant CG
GeoCities GIF. Yeah. And so Violator looks great, and the reveal of him is pretty good. It's after Violator kicks Spawn's ass, which by the way, their first fight, because there's 3 in the movie. It's really good.
I don't remember them fighting that many times. I remember them fighting like originally.
They fight in the alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's pretty awesome. Like I said, he looks great. And then as after this, that Cagliostro shows him the ropes and like how to like use his costume or whatever.
Right.
So he shows him like how to control his belts and like how his cape can be used as like this, that, and the other thing. Now I want to point out real quick that meanwhile, as this is happening after the fight, this goes directly from the fight between Violator and Spawn that it goes into him with Cagliostro and the training.
Right.
The Clown's like, Spawn, screw you, because he sticks him to like some fence or something like that, and he's like, screw you, I'm gonna go get Wanda. See you later. And so Cagliostro then trains Al how to use his costume, and he's like, oh cool, yeah, I can do this. And then it cuts to him walking out with like guns on him and like bandoliers, and like then he's just like, well, I won't be needing these, and he just pulls them off. It's like he just put them on just to come out to say like, I don't even need these things. And he steals someone's bike, and then he meets up with a Clown down the road and ends up beating him to...
That's when he has his, Is that scene cool? I remember when he turns the bike into, like, spiky thing.
That's alright. I mean, like...
his cape, like, wraps around it or something.
Yeah, he does. And then...
Oh, man.
And then in this scene, there's 2, which I think are probably, like, homage jokes, sort of. Which I know one of them probably is, for sure. And that's when they're driving, they're blowing up shit left and right. And Clown says, I love the smell of burning asphalt in the morning, which I think is, supposed to be a joke on Apocalypse Now, which of course starred Martin Sheen.
Right.
So, that's, I think, apparent. But then when he does do the cape spike thing and he drives into it in the truck, Clown explodes, coming out of the flames, much like John McClane from Die Hard 2.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's supposed to be, but it's like the same shot.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we're getting to the climax of the film. Finally.
Oh, the
I know,
climax.
yeah. Because it's at this point that
This
Terry.
is pretty climactic already here.
It really is.
There's just so much going on.
There's a lot of spawn going on. Now it's at this point that Terry has discovered what Wynn's trying to do, which is poison the whole world and then take it over.
Terry found out?
Yeah, Terry found out. Spawn told him, I think.
A little birdie told me.
I think like
Someone wants to take over the world.
Yeah, it was like I think Spawn when he crashed the party, like to confront Wynn, and this is when Wynn saw Spawn. Like I said, he saw Spawn for the first time. Then he knew that he found out he was Spawn, or found out he was Al.
Right.
So he was like, "Oh shit, Al's back," or whatever. And so I think he may have like slipped some like information to Terry at this point. So
Al's back.
yeah. Oh.
I never thought this would happen.
Oh man, gee whiz! It's almost like Mabojia told me that 5 years ago, which is crazy. I guess it's been 5 years in like their world, so it's pretty unexpected.
Yeah.
But I think he like slipped him some information or whatever, and so Terry's trying to upload it on this like primitive computer.
Like a floppy disk.
Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
like this floppy, and he's gonna give it to the news. But then Jason shows up at his house, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing, pal?" And then Wanda, she's just like, "Take, don't hurt us. Take what you want and leave." And it's like, this is his boss, like
Yeah.
with a giant gun. He's not here to rob you. Like, take what, like, whatever. And so Spawn shows up to save the day, which then Wynn calls him. He doesn't call him Al. He calls him Spawn.
What?
Yes, he calls him Spawn. And like, no one's called him Spawn. He calls himself Spawn, but he wasn't like, when Jason's like, who are you or whatever. He wasn't like, I'm Spawn. He's
Right,
like, I'm
yeah.
fucking Al. That guy you killed. And he's like, oh shit, it's Al. So why would he call him Spawn?
It's 90s movie, man.
Right?
Like, I can only use that excuse so many times, but
And that's how it works, right? Because it means like you watch like a modern day like superhero film, right?
yeah.
Like when Red Skull, Red Skull knows that Steve Rogers is Captain America. So when they meet, he's not like, oh, Captain America. He's like, Captain Rogers or whatever,
yeah.
because that's his fucking name.
Yeah.
Superheroes don't go by superhero names.
Right.
I should point out that also there was a point when
This plot is so complex.
there's a lot to it. There really is. There's a point. There's a point also after Spawn confronts Jason at the party or whatever. That after it, he's worried about his life. He's like, "Fuck, man! Like he's gonna kill me." And so what they do is they install like a failsafe sort of on
his heart whatever.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot all about that.
Right. If his heart stops,
It
the
triggers
virus.
the virus.
Right, and the virus will be released, so you can't kill him.
Yeah. But then it's Clown's whole thing is to get Spawn to want to kill him.
So that way the virus is released.
Oh my god.
Because they
it's
want
so overly complicated.
It really is. Like at first, I had a note originally in this where I said like, "This is so easy, a baby could figure it out." But then as it went on, I was like, "There's a lot of bullshit to this."
yeah.
It's so over the top. They all meet at the Fitzgeralds.
Meet at the Fitzgerald.
Yeah, they all meet there, and they're gonna like, they're all. This is it, the final showdown.
Right.
Oh man, this is where it all happens. And,
You're sighing pretty hard over there.
it's just like the end is it's just so silly. Al wants to kill Jason, but he can't because that would kill everyone in the entire world. But he's fine with that. He's okay with that. He's like whatever, I'll kill you anyway. But then he's like, but it'll release the virus. He's like, fuck it, whatever. Cyan's there, and then he's like, it would even kill her. And then he's like, oh.
Like he forgot that.
Yeah, he forgot that this little girl that was in the room would be part of everyone that died.
I thought you meant everyone, as in everyone else.
Like, not the people I care about in this room.
What?
But they got Wanda tied up, or what they think is Wanda.
Oh.
And it turns out to be like Clown, like using his like necroplasm like to like disguise himself as like Wanda type thing.
But he's still Clown.
He's still Clown, yeah.
Yeah.
And he runs into the fireplace that they have in the room, and which brings him into hell, where then apparently Cagliostro's there all of a sudden.
In hell?
No, he's in the room, like he's at Wanda's.
Oh.
Hey, he's just hanging out.
Hang with the Fitzgeralds.
Right. So then they all like he and Spawn both jump into the fireplace where they have their battle in hell, which looks so bad. So bad. It's like the background of like a Street Fighter game.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you get it? Like it's just
Well,
a big
yeah.
crowd moving
Well,
as one.
yeah, I'm also remembering it now. Yeah, they move in unison too,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And
And does he blast him with like
His-
heat vision?
yeah, yeah, he just lasers them all like to death. And then
And it's like that's easy.
That's
it's
easy,
just
yeah.
that easy to kill the entire army of hell.
Right.
Like, just
But here's the thing: he can't kill them all. And by the way, they've already like wasted Violator, or so they think. So he's off somewhere doing his thing.
right.
So
Being a
what?
pest.
So what Spawn does is he grabs onto Cagliostro, and then Spawn jetpacks.
What?
Yeah, he like
Necroplasm?
yeah, like
Jetpack?
green like blast, just boom straight up, and then out of the fireplace
Because
because that's how it works.
okay.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I guess the door's still open, I suppose. So I guess if you got a fireplace out there, just mind you that it leads to hell.
Yeah.
So, they go up, everything's cool, whatever. Violator comes through the he comes like through a wall. Oh no! Spawn cuts his head off. Clown makes a joke. How about a little head? So then he melts, screams, goes into the fireplace. And then it's revealed that so now they have Jason Wynn in cuffs. Everything's cool. The A6 virus has all been destroyed.
Just somehow neutralized.
Yeah, that's it. Terry's just like, oh, we've already destroyed all the virus. Everything,
Got it.
It's all good. That's it. The end. Spawn's on top of a building, cape flying crazily because his cape is, by the way, terribly CG. Yeah, and then there's narration by Cagliostro talking about how like a man like chooses this destiny or that destiny and blah blah blah, and he becomes a Spawn.
Yeah.
And then it goes into like Dust Brothers or whatever.
So McFarlane after this movie, which
Yeah.
by the way, so like I said, it was $40 million. It netted 88 mil in
Okay.
box office.
Hey, it's a win.
It's a slight success.
That's a Jason win.
Oh man, it has a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes as of right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, McFarlane wanted to immediately do a sequel,
Yeah.
which was greenlit, but then they had all kinds of like writing problems. Just it was literally like a nightmare trying to make a sequel to this. 2008 is when he officially said the sequel was gonna like happen. It didn't. So then he started writing from 2009, and literally just earlier this year said he finished the script.
Really?
So it took him that long. Apparently the script, it's gonna be a hard R.
Okay.
He said no questions about that.
As it should be.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. But he said there's no superhero elements. He wants it to be a supernatural thriller.
Okay.
And it's going to primarily be based on the two detectives from the animated series.
Sam and Twitch.
Yep.
Which one's like the little skinny guy?
Probably Twitch.
Probably.
He sounds skinny and twitchy.
You know this actor right here. This is him, I think. Right?
Who is that?
That is Michael Jeter. He was in Green Mile, Fear and Loathing Las Vegas,
Yeah.
Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, that guy could do it.
Yeah, he looks just like him. Oh, he's dead. So never mind. Now, would you want to see a Spawn? Do you want to see a Spawn sequel? Or not a Spawn sequel so much as like a reboot? I guess would have to be a reboot.
Yeah, it
these
would be a
days.
complete reboot. Series reboot. I think McFarlane even said that. It wouldn't be a sequel.
What if it was? What if it was just a direct sequel?
Oh my! So after re-seeing this, what is your official opinion? Are you saying that I should watch it again?
I think you should. Yeah, it's worth checking out again for a second time. Like, I think the pros outweigh the cons, and like, there are some really silly scenes that don't really fit.
Right.
Just in the comic books, he didn't go against like these like giant like world like conquering people.
Yeah.
He went against child rapists and like just everyday bad people. Yeah, right. But no, yeah, I would love to see. Yeah, check it out, and I'd love to see like what else they have to go with Spawn. I'd like to see him back on the big screen. I think now is the time to do it.
Oh, of course. Especially if you want to push a hard R, like
Oh yeah.
this is when all the comic book movies want to do it.
Yeah.
So
Right, and I mean, like, yeah, and like, Spawn's a movie that should be R.
yeah, it should have been R back in the day.
Yeah, it should have been. But I mean, they did get away with some words though, like
Yeah?
fudge packer.
Oh God.
Yep,
They threw an F-bomb in there.
they did. Woo! Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Damn.
I'll have to put explicit now on this bad
Yeah.
boy.
I think that's it.
I think that's it. Yeah, that's our take on Spawn. We'll be back next week with who knows what. Thank you.
Thanks for listening.